Dear friends, this is the second part of previous video with the topic of spiritual grounded. Alright, so we talked about the heart, how it's the control center of your whole life, how you gotta detox it, clean it, and fill it with the remembrance of Allah. But now let's talk about something just as important, something that can either make you or break you. Your company, the people you surround yourself with. 'Cause let's be real, no matter how strong you think you are, the people around you will influence you, whether you like it or not. You ever notice how when you hang out with someone a lot, you start picking up their habits, their slang, their jokes, even their way of thinking? Just happens naturally. And that's why the Prophet said, a person is upon the religion of his close friend, so let him look carefully at whom he befriends. Tirmidhi. That's deep. Because he's not just talking about bad friends who drag you into obvious sins. He's talking about influence, about the fact that your closest circle will shape you, whether you realize it or not. So the question is, who are you letting shape you? Are they pulling you closer to Allah or further away? Are they reminding you of your purpose or distracting you from it? Are they pushing you to be better or keeping you comfortable in mediocrity? 'Cause here's the thing. You will become like the people you spend the most time with. It's just human nature. You ever try to stay spiritually grounded, but the people around you are on a whole different vibe? You're trying to pray, they're trying to party. You're trying to cut out bad habits, they're normalizing them. You're trying to stay positive, they're drowning in negativity. And eventually, starts rubbing off on you, little by little. And one day you wake up and wonder why your heart feels so heavy. Why your connection with Allah feels weak. Why you're not as motivated as before. It's the company. It's always the company. And listen, I get it. Sometimes the people we love the most are the same ones pulling us down. And it's hard to walk away. But you don't always have to cut people off completely. Sometimes you just need distance. Less time around them. Less energy given to them. More time with people who remind you of who you actually want to be. Because here's the reality. If you're serious about being spiritually grounded, you have to protect your environment. You have to be intentional about who you let in your space. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. But what if I don't have any good friends around me? Then start with your relationship with Allah. Because when you make Him your priority, He will send the right people into your life. I've seen it happen. People make dua for better company, and out of nowhere, Allah connects them with friends who help them grow. It's real. But you gotta take that first step. You gotta be willing to walk away from environments that are poisoning your soul. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it's lonely at first. Because temporary loneliness, it's better than being surrounded by people who are slowly pulling you away from your purpose. And when you choose Allah over everything else, He replaces what you lost with something way better. Always. So here's the challenge. Look at your circle. Ask yourself, who is influencing me? Who is shaping my mindset? Who is helping me grow? And who is keeping me stuck? And if you don't like the answers, then it's time to make some changes. Because being spiritually grounded, it's not just about your personal efforts. It's also about your surroundings. And when you get that part right, everything else starts falling into place. Trust me on this one. Alright. So friends, we talked about your circle. How the people around you can either lift you up or drag you down. And if you want to stay spiritually grounded, you have to protect your environment. But now let's talk about something deeper. Something that a lot of people struggle with but don't always know how to fix. The mindset. 'Cause let's be real. Everything in life, your faith, your peace, your struggles, it all starts with your mindset. And a weak mindset, that's the quickest way to lose yourself. You ever meet people who are always stressed, always negative, always feeling like life is against them? Like no matter what happens, they find a way to complain. That's not just bad luck. That's a mindset problem. And it's dangerous. Because your mind shapes your reality. If you constantly think negative, you will live negative. If you're always expecting failure, you will attract failure. If you tell yourself, I can't, then you won't. Simple as that. And that's why Islam puts so much emphasis on having a strong mindset. Allah literally tells us in the Quran, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." 94:6. Not after hardship. With it. Meaning, even in the middle of your toughest struggles, there is some kind of good. You just have to train your mind to see it. And I get it. That's not always easy. Especially when life keeps throwing problems at you. When you're tired, when you're drained, when you feel like nothing is going right. It's easy to slip into negative thinking. To start believing that things will never change. But that's where you have to check yourself. Because the moment you let negative thoughts take over, that's the moment you give up control. And as believers, we don't think like that. We don't say this is the end. We say this is a test. We don't say I can't do this. We say Allah will help me through this. We don't say everything is falling apart. We say maybe Allah is clearing the path for something better. That's the mindset shift. That's what keeps you grounded when life gets tough. And trust me, it will get tough. But if you train your mind to see the bigger picture, you'll never break. Now let's get practical. How do you actually change your mindset? First, watch your words. Because your words shape your thoughts. And your thoughts shape your life. Stop saying, I'm unlucky. Stop saying, I'm not good enough. Stop saying, I'll never succeed. Because the more you say it, the more you believe it. Instead, start saying, I trust Allah's plan. I am capable. My test is my training. I'm exactly where I need to be. Even if you don't feel it at first, say it anyway. Because your words program your brain. And the more you repeat positive, faith-driven thoughts, the stronger your mindset becomes. Second, stop feeding your mind negativity. What you consume affects how you think. And let's be real. Most of us are drowning in negativity. Constant bad news. Toxic social media. Pointless gossip. Comparing ourselves to influencers who don't even live real lives. And then we wonder why we feel low. Why our faith feels weak. Why we're always doubting ourselves. It's because our minds are full of junk. You gotta clean that up. Be mindful of what you watch, what you read, who you listen to. 'Cause whatever you feed your mind, that's what grows. Third, start looking for the good. 'Cause listen, there is always good. Even in the hardest moments. Even when everything seems dark. There is some kind of ease. Maybe it's the lesson you're learning. Maybe it's the strength you're gaining. Maybe it's the sins being erased through your patience. Or maybe it's just the simple fact that Allah hasn't abandoned you. 'Cause He never does. But if you're too focused on what's wrong, you'll never see what's right. And that's a dangerous way to live. Because the moment you start thinking Allah isn't helping you, that's the moment you lose your strength. And Shaitan loves that. He wants you to doubt. He wants you to feel like there's no hope. He wants you to focus on everything that's missing so you forget everything you already have. But you don't have to play into that. You can choose a different mindset. A mindset that says, no matter what happens, Allah is with me. No matter how hard it gets, I won't give up. No matter how long it takes, I know ease is coming. 'Cause that's not just positive thinking. That's faith. And when you train your mind to think like that, nothing can shake you. Because now, your strength isn't coming from yourself. It's coming from Allah. And when your strength comes from Allah, you become unstoppable. So here's your challenge. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Catch yourself when you start thinking negatively. Replace doubt with trust. Replace fear with faith. Replace I can't with Allah will help me. And watch how your whole life starts to change. Because a strong mindset, that's the foundation of a spiritually grounded life. And once you build that, nothing can break you. Nothing. Alright. Dear friends, if these words touched your heart and you seek spiritual peace, then subscribe this channel. Like this video and hit the bell icon for more inspiring and faith-strengthening content.